ties with Maldives. Jaishankar says, and I quote, Malay has its own politics. India puts Maldives citizens first. The EAM, speaking on Indian Mediva plane chopper as well, says competent crew needed to run sorties. Let's have a listen.
Sir, on Maldives, could we have handled this important country in our neighborhood differently? We now have a president who's very pro-China, belligerently anti-India, wanting the Indian military in whatever little deployment we have out. How concerned are you about how the India-Maldives equation is playing out?
Every country has its politics. In democratic politics, you have contrasting positions. We have to accept that all our neighbors will have their own politics, and those politics will lead them to take positions. And it's a reality, given how large we are and how prominent we are in their lives, that often we will be the subject of their politics. I think there's no running away from that. Now, the issue of how we are handling it, I would say, this has tended to become more angular for a variety of reasons, including, social media controversies. The current government in Maldives seems to have some discomfort with our uniformed people operating medvac systems, 2 helicopters and an aircraft, which are there actually for the benefit of the people. Some aspect of it troubles you, please level with us, and we'd be happy to look at it, because at the end of the day, this is, you rightly said, it's a very important relationship. Neighborly relationships are. Neither of us want to blow this out of all proportion. If you look at these systems, these are obviously, you're talking to helicopters and aircraft here. You need competent people. We had a team from Maldives over for 2 days. We have an understanding that they value the operations of this. We would like, obviously, this to continue as an expression of our friendship to the Maldivian people. I think there are solutions. We are working on those solutions. We said yesterday that we will. So I really think over a period of time this should not be an issue between us. I think the rest of the relationship is strong. There are many other things happening, and I hope that the focus shifts there rather than drags on as unnecessarily on this particular issue.
All right, big statement coming in on the diplomatic ties between India and Maldives. The recent strain that he's touched upon, Rahul, while India is all set to replace its military personnel in Maldives in 2 phases, your question to S. Jaishankar there, saying that Malay has its own kind of politics. How did he really describe India's equation with Maldives at this moment?
The critical thing at this moment is about the medical evacuation that Indian personnel have been carrying out, which the new government in Maldives is opposing, and they want Indian military personnel gone. So in the discussion with the Maldivian side that happened over the past few days, an effort is being made to see if there can be a middle ground where the equipment stays and they get technically qualified personnel who the Ministry of Defence and the Indian Air Force trust, possibly veterans from the Air Force who've got experience in flying those aircraft, and get them to do the same kind of medical evacuation. Dr. Jaishankar made an important point that this ultimately is something that is to the advantage of the Maldivian people, and therefore does it really make sense for these personnel to be sent back? They're not there in a military capacity, they're there in a civilian capacity where they're largely helping with medical evacuation, and therefore can you get other personnel who are trained on that military equipment to fly that military equipment so that medical evacuation continues? India not wanting to pull out completely, but attempting, Nabila, to try and find some kind of a middle ground.
All right. India has also announced aid to Maldives recently as part of the budget. So the tie is there, India working around. Thanks very much, Rahul, for joining us with that. An exclusive report. And